What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. On today's video, I'm going to be comparing the two newest Storm bowling balls, the Absolute and the Revenant. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell. If you like this jersey or any of the jerseys in any of my videos, coolwick.com, use my promo code Napoles10. That'll get you 10% off your entire order. And then down below in the description, there's going to be a link where you can order an Absolute or a Revenant or anything bowling related. It's the best way to help support the channel. Now, while both of these bowling balls don't really have a whole lot in common, because they are the two newest bowling balls from Storm, I did want to come out here and do a quick comparison of the two. I will preface this by saying that these bowling balls would not overlap in my arsenal. The Revenant features the Vector core, which in 15 pounds is an RG of 2.54 and a max differential of 0.050. And then wrapped around that Vector core is the R3S Pearl cover stock that comes out of box at that React-A-Gloss finish. And then we'll talk about the layouts after we get into some of the tech behind these balls. Then the Absolute features the Sentinel core, which in 15 pounds has an RG of 2.48, so significantly lower than the Revenant. A max differential of 0.050, which is the same as the Revenant, and a PSA of 0.021 because it is an asymmetrical core. Then wrapped around that Sentinel core is the R2S Deep Hybrid. So it is the same kind of base formula, that RS formula, just this is R2S Deep Hybrid and this is R3S Pearl. Then when we talk about the layouts, the Revenant is that 30 by 4 by 30 layout that I've really been liking, and then the Revenant is 60 by 4.5 by 30. So we're gonna be here at Sam's Town on lane 2 on a fresh, typical house shot. Let me know down below in the comments if you guys are excited to order either the Revenant or the Absolute, and why or why not. We'll see you guys here on the lanes. All right, so we're gonna start in the Absolute and then we'll get into the Revenant. I do think that as we start, the Absolute will look better than the Revenant, and then as we transition, the Revenant's gonna look better. All right, so as far as the spot in the arsenal, the Absolute's gonna be that first spot I go to on the fresh when I need something a little bit cleaner. All right, and then one more shot here with the Absolute, and we'll get into that Revenant. All right, so this is gonna be the Revenant, and for the sake of comparison, I'll go right to that same spot, and then I'll make an adjustment here accordingly. That's so much quicker down lane. All right, so because this ball is so much longer, so much quicker down lane, I'm gonna move in a little to see if maybe I can kick out that 10 pin. There we go. Then as far as where the Revenant's gonna fit in my arsenal, it's gonna be that ball I'm gonna go to late in game 3, in game 4, game 5, when I really need to clear the fronts. Dude, that thing is so quick down lane. Yeah, I'm not really worried about how the Revenant looks on the fresh because it's not a ball I'm ever really gonna throw on the fresh. So back in the Absolute here. Yeah, so in the initial review of the Absolute, I didn't really love it. But since throwing it in league and throwing it right now, I'm starting to really like it. Hook a lot. Yeah, so I mean, like the fact that this ball has such a strong core and I can miss right like that and it's still gonna recover and go through the pins. Yeah, so like regardless of what I say, you guys can already see just how different these two bowling balls are. And if you had them both in the bag, they would not overlap at all. Oh, I will say, however, that because the Revenant has such a high differential, if I did hit it with some surface on the fresh, I think it would look pretty good. All right, one more shot here before the first break. I'm gonna try to leak this one right a little bit, see if they're transitioned enough to not have to play the middle part of the lane. All right, so we're coming off the lanes for the first group of shots, 6 shots each with the Absolute and with the Revenant. And what I really want you guys to kind of understand, and hopefully you're seeing, is that just because these two balls came out at the same time doesn't mean you have to pick one or the other. The shapes and the hook potentials of these bowling balls are incredibly different from one another. The Absolute definitely wants to get into a roll a little bit sooner. It's definitely a little smoother when compared to that Revenant. And like I said, the situations when I would throw one versus the other are night and day. Like I would start in the Absolute when I need to keep the ball a little bit in front of me, when I need something a little bit cleaner through the front than some of those other typical asymmetrical balls, like the Reality, like the Gems, like the Proton Physics, those kind of balls. And then the Revenant is just gonna be when I gotta get left and create the most amount of shape. I say game 4 because I bowl a 4-game league, but if you're like late into game 3 in league, game 4, if you're bowling a tournament, game 5, game 6, game 7, that's when that Revenant is really gonna come into play. All right, back in the Absolute, I'm gonna move a little bit left just so we can test the limits of this ball here. Oh, that's a bad shot. It struck, but that was a bad shot. All right, so that was a really poorly executed shot. It still struck. We're gonna go back to that same spot, execute at a higher level, and I think it will go flush. Woo! Yeah, that was a really good shot. Here's to repeating that here. All right, so now we're in the Revenant. Again, we're gonna chase this one left just to see. Yeah, this Revenant does really, really well in the high friction environments, like what we're bowling on right now. All right, and then one more shot here with the Revenant, and we'll get back into the Absolute. All right, back in the Absolute. I'm really thinking that 2023 is off to a really, really good start for us. Oh, that hit my foot on the way down. Oh, we'll take it. Yeah, I'm liking the direction that we're going so far. Oh, that's so bad. That is so bad. Yeah, guys, moral of the story is that when you throw it that bad, you can't strike. So let's just get back to basics here, execute at a high level. See, I'll take that every day. Every day I'll take that. All right, back in the Revenant. I just feel like if I keep my swing down, it's so much easier for me to repeat shots. Like that. I fell off my shot, but I can still repeat that. All right, so let's keep that swing down and post it at the foul line. I can do that every shot. All right, last shot before the second break. Again, post it at the shot, at the line, keep the swing down. That probably. All right, so coming off the lanes here, comparing the Revenant with the Absolute, I think I learned something, and I'd like to share that with you guys. I'm thinking that these balls could be a really good little 1-2 punch. Now, I do think that if I was bowling for score, I could have definitely stayed in that Absolute, but as soon as that starts to roll a little bit too forward because it is a huge asymmetrical core, I think that going right into the Revenant could be like a really good combo. Now, I don't know if that was the design intent or not, one way or the other, but I definitely think that these two could be a really good 1-2 punch. And I bowled in league last night and I threw only the Absolute and the Revenant, and I shot 940 for 4. And I'm starting to see how these two can interact with one another in an arsenal. So let's get back on the lanes and just continue to chase it left as long as the lanes allow me to. All right, so again, we're gonna move left here with the Absolute. I think this is gonna be the first big test of this ball. Is it gonna be able to handle this much angle and still go through the pins? Oh, I might have missed right, so let's try again before we make a move. All right, so before we make a move, let's go back to that same spot and execute at a higher level. I feel like I say that in every single video, but let's execute at a higher level and see. I'm happy with that shot. Yeah, so as long as I do that, it looks good. I'm so impressed with this Absolute. Every time I throw it, I'm liking it a little bit more and more, especially considering I didn't love it when I first reviewed it. All right, back in the Revenant now, and again, I'm gonna keep chasing this left. This looks really good here at Samstown. Woo! Yo, that was the dirtiest 9-pin from this far left I've ever had. That's hilarious. That's in a little, that'll be good. Yeah, when I get it in, it doesn't hook as much. So let's get this one right to where I want to be at. All right, let's get left again a little bit here with the Absolute. I'm pretty far left now with both of these balls. That's like the third or fourth one today. All right, let's move left off that 9-pin. That's pretty amazing that I can 9-pin from this far left. So let's keep going. Ooh. All right, let's go back to that same spot, but get a handful at the bottom. See if we can't get it to go a little bit flush. All right, I've been like 3 or 4 left the entire time with the Revenant, so let's get in front of a ball return, at least for one shot, and see how this works. Really just want to get this going right. Oh. So, I mean, I think if I was bowling for score, I would ditch this Revenant and go to the 5-inch pin Revenant. Let's see if we can repeat that. Get it going a little bit further right. See if we can get it to be a little bit more flush. See it. Oh! All right, last shot of the video. See if I can't make this be a little bit more flush. Get it right, slow down a little bit. All right, so now we're all done comparing the two newest Storm balls, the Absolute and the Revenant. I think the biggest thing that I want you guys to take away from this video is that the Absolute, just because it is a really big asymmetrical core, it still has a clean enough cover that you can get to it from really far left and still have that confidence that the ball's gonna go through the pins the right way. And then the Revenant, like guys, I knew that the Revenant was gonna be good just because I've historically matched up with that core and that cover. And to me, these two bowling balls have been so far a match made in heaven. And what I hope is that these two balls end up being the worst balls of 2023. Because if that's the case, we are gonna be in really, really good shape this year. Thank you guys so much for joining me in this video. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Click right here to watch one of my videos. Click right here to subscribe. Till next time.